Hello and welcome back to another line writer tutorial. Today I'm going to be covering advanced singularity techniques. So that'll be blue singularities, how to fix awkward momentum ticks. So that would be like if you have orange lines appearing in your momentum tick. And I'll also show you how that works in conjunction with chaining singularities. So first of all, we'll just cover the blues. So it's fairly straightforward, really. It's just like a sort of 10-point cannon stack, I guess, if you will, or it's just like making a stack but easier. Just flick through the iterations and just keep adding more. Now, you might get to a point where you can't add many more due to the shape of the momentum tick. So you can either just cut it off there. I mean, I might be able to, oh, okay, I can continue it in a different direction, maybe. Yeah, it's like sometimes you can make it go further. It kind of depends. So if I go to the momentum tick, and let's just turn onion skinning on. Let's get this to the point where we have a blue or an orange. There we go. So that's now orange. Oh, no, it's blue there. Alright, well this is unexpectedly turning out to be quite a fruitful blue singularity. Okay, so this may be quite difficult to fix. But the way in which you fix this is you go back to the singularity, which is in the previous frame to this, and then you can sometimes just use blue lines to fix this, but essentially, oh yeah, look, there you go. I might be able to rotate that to a point where it will just live. And essentially the reason this works is that it's a bit like a sixth iteration trick, and if you want more detail on that, go check out the tutorial for that. But basically you're affecting the contact points in the frame in which they get forced into the singularity position. So if I get this to the right position, I have a chance of doing something useful. I'm going to see if I can do this all blue, because I might as well show that for demonstration purposes. But if not, let's try a different angle. Again, with singularities, it's kind of just a little bit of an art. Maybe, oh, there you go, did it. So just managed to find the right angle there, and that now lives. So that's how you can get this kind of stuff to go on. I mean, yes, I would also have to prevent the tail fakie from killing him here in this situation. So I would probably just pull the peg up and also the feet, I guess. In this, yeah, there you go, and that will live. So now I'm going to show you how to chain singularities. So I'm going to go back to this position. Now chaining singularities is actually quite easy, and this is just because often in cases like this you can see all the contact points are quite close together. So let's get them into the position. So here we've run into one of the more irksome kind of singularity quirks. So you can see as I pull this down, all of the points except for this one here get pulled down, and the reason for that is because the momentum is going the other way, and that can create quite a dilemma. Sometimes you can literally just double side align and your kind of issue is fixed, but I'm pretty sure that because oh, actually no, we may be able to do that. So I'm just going to put line snap on to make this a little easier. There we go. So, and then I'm just going to highlight that There we go. So because I've made this line double-sided, I've been able to grab every single contact point again. And this also actually goes into a cramule in the next few frames. So what I'm going to do now to continue the singularity chain is just do that. And that. There we go. So I think from here on I will start using multi-lines just so I can possibly show how, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, if you get good at these blues, you can just keep doing like an all blue singularity track if you wanted to. But I mean, for demonstration, I'm going to show red here, so we can get into some of the red techniques in a moment. Okay, so it's proving to be somewhat annoying to grab this, so I'm just going to make this as small as I can. This can sometimes help you when you're trying to reach out to that position. Nope, that's not grabbing it. Oh, this is just great. I guess this can. So yeah, in this situation, make the line as small as you can. That can sometimes help. Let's see if I can get anywhere with this. I could also try this directly X or Y line. Okay, so we're running into some major issues with this one. Okay, so this is going to prove difficult to actually do. So what I'm going to do instead is cheat. Let's just make these lines a little bigger again. So although it won't let me actually pull him out, what I can do instead is just make these lines red. Or this line in this case. Also, this appears to... Oh, it doesn't die. Okay. I mean, also I have enough speed here, but I don't actually need to send him in a different direction, which often when you're chaining singularities, you know, it's not really essential. So I can just ignore this in this particular case. What you can do if you're really determined to send him in a different direction is, you know, I can simply do this and also this, and then just separate them so you can multi-line both of them. And then if I wanted to, I could send, you know, this in different directions to. You'd have to make sure that the multi-lines, like let's say this one is 7. Make sure the one underneath that controls the rest of him is also the same value. Okay, so this also brings me on to another point. So let's say I just push this to a point where we get a yellow momentum tick. Well, we seem to be there we go. So now it's yellow. So fixing stuff like this again is a matter of multi-lining. Obviously, in this case, I've set this up so it's pretty easy for me to just do that. And again, for chaining, if you can get these pretty close to each other, you're going to have a much easier time with the next iteration. And here we go. Now let's check all of these to make sure. Okay, so we have the same kind of issue again. So one of these is not cooperating with the momentum vectors for all the others. Most of them are going this way, and this one is kind of going that way, which gives us a little bit of an issue. So sometimes you can do this double-sided line technique, which we can try, but I'm also going to show you another way of combating that. So it would appear in this situation that I can use the double-sided line trick again, and that seems to work. But I'm going to show you a different way of fixing this issue. So, for example, if I just keep multi-lining this red line more, as you can see, watch the momentum vectors, this bottom one now changes to be pointing in roughly the same direction as the others. And this will, of course, mean that they can now all be grabbed onto the same line. And then again, you can make your wrong way around. You can make your singularity from here. Now I'm hoping for the final one, it will show me a position where it's actually difficult to get into a singularity, because that will happen fairly often. Sometimes you end up making these with free lines, which can be quite interesting. So this may be a case where that works for whatever reason. This is quite a strange one, actually. Maybe the lines aren't long enough. Let me just take a look at this. So one thing you can do if you get a situation like this, where it won't kind of fit to what you want, is you can just let's just see if I can cheat this with a blue line. No, I can't. Okay, so what you can do, well, I could kind of cheat it, I guess, is let's just get rid of basically just go back to this previous frame and then just see what you can do with the multi-lining. Like, it might be that you can send these contact points in such a way that you're able to grab everything and get that kind of like perfect perfect point that you're looking for. So in this case, okay, so it looks like it's just this one. So let's just see, if I send this backwards, I might be able to get that into a position where it goes into singularity. Well, it looks like I have, almost, but it's in a very strange version of a singularity. That's not a singularity, but it's close. I wonder if I can just, sometimes you can just spam like more lines and it will just like do it. Yeah, like that. But that's not a singularity either. Let's just turn off this onion skinning before it gets confusing. So I'm guessing it's probably this line that's causing me the issue. So if I just delete that and grab that line, send that forwards as far as I can. Alright, so there's a lot of stuff going on with this line as well. That may fix it, because they're all on the same trajectory now. So I can just lengthen this. Again, as I iterated before, this is not a science necessarily. There's a bit of an art to it. Maybe it's a science for some. For me, I just kind of keep figuring at it until I get what I want. Yeah, this is a particularly odd one. Oh, okay. That just got it. That strange angle, for whatever reason, as you can see, got the singularity to work. You kind of get a feel for when multi-lining will help you or hinder you, but you can fix stuff in this frame, and you can also use multi-lining or more blue lines in this frame to assist you as well. So this was quite an odd fix. It seems that just by line snapping to this, it just kind of fixes itself. So if I could just snap any line to here, will it just, yeah, at some point it just pops in. I saw it there, yeah, interesting. So is it just, has to be down, yeah, it has to be kind of about there. Interesting. There you go. So, on to the next. I'm trying to find one where I have to use like some slightly different multi-lining to fix the issue. Okay. Here you go. So let's get, this should go into a regular cram pretty decently. I'm thinking. Yep. So that was a pretty easy one. Let's go to this one. And yeah, like the more you make these, the easier it gets. Alright, so this one looks like it's probably going to be more trouble based on those. Yeah. Okay, so here's one where we had that same kind of issue. The contact points are not really wanting to cooperate fully with us. Sometimes you can fix that just by changing line length. And actually, yeah, I was able to get very close by doing that. So let's see if I can move that one a bit forwards. Nope, that has to be there. Can I cheat and do this? No. It's possible I can do this same little trick again, but doesn't look like it. Okay, so to get him into that position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to put in a red line here. Oh, wrong way up again. There we go. So you can snap this onto here if you want, but I'm just going to put it here. I'll probably do enough. Okay, so if you look closely at those contact points, when I add three multi-lines or multipliers, whatever, I mean, those of you, if you're using .com to do this, you'll have to make sure that you angle this at not a direct X or Y axis, or it won't, because you don't have multipliers. But if you do, then yeah, just move this until all the contact points move to that line. So now that it's in that position, I should just be able to add another line, and there you go. Now we are cooking. Now you can also see we finally got this position, which I was hoping to show. So what I'm going to do first is, I mean, this is kind of too close. It will get sucked back in the next frame. Although you can, you know, kind of recycle the structure of singularities if you want, or even entire singularities. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back to iteration 2 here. I'm just going to pull them out with a red line, if I can remember how to do that. Please. And the red lines are not cooperating much today. Okay, so I may be forced to kind of bodge that. Let's just make this a bit smaller. Alright. Well, this is interesting for sure. Alright, let's get a good angle. Alright, so instead of doing that, I'm just going to add a red line here. Oh, and I inadvertently fixed the entire issue with momentum tick. All I wanted to do was, okay, well, essentially I guess this is how you fix these issues. Let's just go forwards. I mean, I can probably fit another singularity in there now if I, oh right, oh wait, no, that does work. If I reduce all these lines out the way, and yeah, it looks like I basically can. So that's great. I was hoping it would give me a more complex one, but yeah, essentially how you fix these is you just place these red lines here, and then you just do the same thing that you saw me do in this one. You move it until the contact points get close together to the point that he'll live. So this will probably just go straight into a sing. Yeah, I'm just going to go to the next frame and do another. I think this will probably be the final one because I think I've kind of shown quite a few different scenarios here that tend to crop up if you make a lot of singularities over time. Yeah, this one looks like it might be a little tricky to get, so I'm going to use the multi-lining trick again, and I put it upside down. Great. Okay, so which way do I want to send that? There we go. Send that to there. That's perfect. And then we grab another line, and it's not perfect. Ooh, this is an interesting one. We have a challenge today, folks. Oh, there you go. Just doing that. Ah, we crossed this threshold. That was enough. And there you go. So this one will hopefully let me pull it out. No. I really am getting pretty unlucky today with these. Okay, well it looks like I basically managed to grab that, but really, oh wait, no I didn't. It was just one contact point. Okay. Man, I do not know what I did to deserve that. Okay, so I can just do it like this anyway, or in theory I can. If I can just snap this on. There we go. Oh, that's slightly changed something. That's interesting. If I get rid of the blue and then just move this up a bit. Oh. Well, that's interesting. So apparently doing that was not a good... Oh! There we go. I fixed it. Just moving the line. So look, now you can see, even though I don't have a G-well, I can just move this however I want. And if I need him to move laterally, or well, vertically in this case, just put a line here, and now he goes that way too. Although you can see I haven't quite grabbed all the contact points, so I'll make, you know, another one like this. I mean, this is quite a messy way to do it. You could also just stack them over the lines properly. But there you go, see? I can now move up both parts of the body, and they'll kind of just match up. Or in theory they will. I mean, in practice it's kind of a mess. Let's do this with snap. So if I do this like this, and like this, it should be a little easier. Yeah, it's moving. There we go. Seems like I can just do it with this one for some reason. But yeah, there you go. I'll probably do this. Oh, that controls that one. So if I do this the other way, I can kind of get that looking a little bit more normal. Except that the butt is actually quite far away, so it's almost more advantageous. No, yeah. You want to keep the points close. So yeah, there you go. It's another pretty weird singularity. Let's move it that way a little. So yeah, if I just, this line is now unused, so you can just delete that. But yeah, this is pretty much how you end up chaining singularities. There's quite a few different variations here. I mean, I can just do this forever because I find this oddly satisfying. Yeah, this one will be a double. I mean, I've kind of already shown you how to deal with those at this point. This will just be a case of moving some of these around, and you'll get it eventually. But yeah, this tutorial should give you everything you need to go away and make singularities. The key to fixing unusual momentum ticks, like if I just, let's just quickly make a hypothetical scenario. So let's put this to like 200, see what happens. Yeah, so this is now down here in some weird position that you don't want, which means that you won't be able to make it live in the next frame. So let's imagine that that was just a blue line and it had just come out strangely. So what I would do is just add in a red line, and sometimes they're not always going to be X. Like you can add them in odd ways if you want, but essentially you'd find a space where you could affect one of these lines. See there, let me affect something, and then you see I can move this back, and basically by playing, there you go, I found a position where that lives. So then I'd be able to mess with it again and make whatever I needed to make. So yeah, that's how you make a bunch of singularities. That's advanced singularities. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Alright, thanks. Bye-bye.